Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a special Crusty Canuck little tidbit for you all. In the news this week, Michigan's governor has canceled the Endbridge pipeline, which is going to affect people of Ontario and Quebec when it comes to their fuel needs, i.e. Pearson's Airport relies on all that fuel from that pipeline, etc., yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to sit and go through all the details. We all know that we were told about this before. Okay. They canceled the Energy East pipeline many moons ago because of the environmental impact and the carbon footprint and all this other BS we were told, and everything else rammed down our throats in the name of saving the environment. Now, I have had many conversations with oil experts and people who have worked in the patch and some bureaucrats who have done some exceptional work for procuring and processing the oil in this country. I had a great conversation with Stephen Buffalo, CEO and president of the IRC, Indian Resources Council, who has told me how Canadian oil is produced and how it's graciously appreciated around the world. However, our bureaucrats don't appreciate it. Now, this is more or less I told you so, Ottawa. I told you so, Seamus O'Regan's, Justin Trudeau's, Chrystia Freeland's, and everybody else who's backed this up. Now, we're going through economic turmoil right now because of the so-called beer bug, with lockdowns, and people getting fined, and people getting ticketed, and people getting screwed royally just for the sake and the name of safety. How is the safety going to come now when, once again, the powers that be have relied on another country to do things? When this country has the ability and has the means to produce, manufacture, and procure things for ourselves. Now, it's not selfish, it's not misogynistic, it's not racist, it's not bigoted to understand that. Question to you. In the upcoming election, if there is one, and I'm pretty sure there might be, coming soon, who do you want calling the shots for this country when it comes to procuring things and getting things done? So you can hop on a plane at Pearson or any airport in this country and go from point A to point B, or you can hop in your car and go to work or take your family out or take your loved ones someplace without worrying about where that fuel is coming from. Regardless of the green scheme and the mandates and the mantras that are being tossed down our throats on a daily basis, it's coming to bite us back in the ass again, ladies and gentlemen. So think for yourself, which is going to be good, which is going to be bad in the future. Seamus O'Regan even said himself, we don't have a backup plan. Maybe you should have. Maybe you should have looked at the elements of this country and the resources of this country and get it to people. There's an idea. Instead of sitting there toting their virtual horn, talking about safety and the environment and keeping people safe, right? When you should have looked at how to keep the economy safe too. Okay? This isn't just a slam to the federal government. This is a slam to everybody who bought the bullshit. Okay? Start thinking for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Gas in my province is anywhere from $1.25 to $1.30 a liter in some places. Why? Inflation, carbon tax, saving the environment, and now access to said fuel in one of the most densely populated parts of the country is going to be compromised because of the green idea or the green scam or whatever virtue that some of these bigwigs are trying to promote. We told you so. Okay? The oil and gas sector, the energy sector in this country has told you this is what will happen. And you didn't care. There's no backup plan. What are you going to do for fuel? Let's rely on Saudi Arabia again. Let's rely on Nigeria. Let's rely on Venezuelan oil. Let's rely on this. Why is it so hard to realize that we have resources in this country that can be brought to market to every consumer in this country safely and effectively, creating jobs, boosting the economy, getting things on the go, right? To all these bigwigs that talk about green and green and green and green, we all know you take private jets. We all know you have your boats. We all know you have your connections to get here, to get there. Pandemic or not, you take the trip, you travel abroad, tell us what to do, and now look at it. It's turning around biting you in the ass. Karma's a real bitch, isn't it? Interesting. Every time I do my podcast, I try to get my facts and figures together so you, my audience, can get a good idea and think for yourselves. Well, the facts and figures are in the mainstream media today. The facts and figures are out and about when everyone protests against oil. or everyone protests against this, or everyone protests against feelings and safety. When our dollar is going down the drain, hyperinflation throughout history has proven that. Sometimes it goes up, then it comes crashing down. So we're in a country right now where we got one province that doesn't like Alberta oil, but loves the equalization. We live in a country now where you have a handful of politicians that are promoting this green agenda, yet have no plan. Seamus Reagan said himself, we don't have a backup plan. Shameful Seamus. I remember you as a broadcaster backing up our troops. And ever since you got elected, you have done nothing but sidestep, backstep, and hide. Sir, you're a coward. You are a coward, sir. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what you do with your personal time. I don't care what you believe in. You have proven to the Canadian taxpayer your incompetence. And not just yourself, but your party has done too. So, when shit hits the fan, when people in Ontario and Quebec cannot get the fuel they need, and they have to pay an extra $1 or an extra $2 or $3 or wait in line, just like the gas crisis back in the 70s, you'll have nobody to blame but your policies and your party goers that have stifled production in this country, who have stifled anybody who spoke out against you, and you stifled democracy as far as I'm concerned. Honestly. And to everybody who's backbenched it and backed up these policies, it's going to bite you in the ass. I'd like to remind you all, too, that karma is a very, very unforgiving bitch. She's not going to care. Right? So you take your half-assed proletariats, take your half-assed policies and your virtue signaling, and you stick it where the sun don't shine. Things don't look promising right now because of your policies. We could have built Energy East. Right? We could have built things west. But no, you didn't want to do it. You didn't want to do it. You stomped your feet and cried to the heavens, oh my God, this is going to hurt the environment. Well, it's hurting the economy. The trees are always going to be here. The river's always going to be here. But the economy's not. So you better come up with a better plan than you have. Actually write something down. Create a plan. Here's a plan. Step down. And give the job to somebody who wants it. Or I tell you what, get rid of these regulations that stops production in this country. How about step back and tell the so-called powers that be that we're dead against Alberta oil to take a flying leap elsewhere? Because we know how winters are in this country. Summer's coming, yeah, so we may not need a lot of home heating. But people need to get to work. That's if you allow, stores to open again. People are going to need to flourish and thrive someplace. Okay? So we need fossil fuels, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless, until we come up with a better plan, this is what we have. Until we see more innovations laid on the table on how to conserve and how to create energy by our own means and actually promote self-sufficiency when it comes to home heating and home power and doing your thing to live your life freely as we should in any democracy, this is what we have. Right? Like I've said in my podcast, I want to challenge any Liberal candidate member right now, or any member of caucus, provincial or federal. You come to me with more facts and figures on how we're going to save this economy. And don't tell me green scheme. Don't tell me green this and green that. Tell me something that comes from here. And you can actually put it on paper and draw up a plan, rather than just toot the old horn so you can get a few more bucks in your paycheck every goddamn month. Think about that, Canada. Think about that, America, too. Right? We have two great countries, as far as I'm concerned. To my American friends out there, hooah. To my Canadian friends out there, hooah. To my English, my French, to my German listeners and all that alike, hooah. Let's keep fighting for this democracy and start fighting again for common sense. Okay? Like I said, karma is an unforgiving bitch. She's not going to care. She's not going to forget. She's not going to remember. She's just going to come around every time you guys screw up. Right? And this time you really screwed up. Like I said, we were told. You were told Energy East would be beneficial. Why? Because of Ontario and because of Quebec's markets and the reliance. But no, you didn't want to do it because we have to protect the environment. The carbon footprint would be less if you let the pipeline go through, rather than relying on trucks and trains and planes, right? Making a big mess, that you helped create. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, Seamus. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Justin, Krista, Chagger, Barbie the Builder, Environmental Barbie. You know what I'm talking about, Miss McKenna, right? All you guys cannot stand the criticism, and yet you make such stupid decisions. Welcome to reality, folks. Like I said, it's going to bite you in the butt. And it's starting to. So you better come up with a concrete plan now that's going to support all of Canada, rather than just a few of your friends and your so-called twat waffle ideas. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Crusty Canuck. If you like and hear what you see, please click like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Additional information will be in the description of this video. Stay tuned to my Thursday Fastball, which is coming today at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and the Sunday Fastball that I have every Sunday at 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time with my educated panel. And we'll sit and discuss more of these policies this weekend. Take care. Thank you very much. Look after your friends and loved ones. Do whatever the best you can to help each other out in these trying times. And like I always say, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.